Welcome back. The Oklahoma County Jail Trust took over management of the Oklahoma County Jail in 2020 after years of trouble inside this facility. But in the more than 5 years since, much of that criticism has not gone away. There have been calls for the Jail Trust to dissolve and turn the jail back over to the Sheriff's Department. And this week, one of 3 Oklahoma County commissioners said he agrees. But what would it take for that to happen? KOCO's Meghan Mosley getting us the facts.
We've heard it from activists for years. Get rid of the Oklahoma Criminal Justice Authority or the Jail Trust.
Accountability starts with the Jail Trust voting to dissolve themselves.
Activists say excessive deaths, poor conditions, and other problems would improve with someone else in charge. And just this week, County Commissioner Jason Lowe echoed that same demand.
There's some good people on there who are really trying to do good things. But overall, I believe it's been ineffective. And I think it's time for us to dissolve the Jail Trust and for the jail to be run by the sheriff.
The Jail Trust oversees the operations of the Oklahoma County Jail. They assumed control from the sheriff's office in 2020.
Well, I've long supported for the trust. I called for the trust's creation when it first began. I think it's shown a lot of transparency. There's been a lot of improvements.
Among the appointed citizens and elected officials on the trust, Sheriff Tommy Johnson III. So I asked him, would he take over the jail?
I have always been consistent in my response to anyone who's asked. And I have always said, I will always honor my obligations as the sheriff and run the jail should that be asked of me.
But only if it was entirely in his office's hands.
The one thing that I have been also consistent with saying is I will do that without a trust. I will not take over the jail with any form of a trust.
Pastor Derek Scobie also sits on the Jail Trust. He believes it should dissolve and be handed over to the sheriff, but not before getting finances in order.
Because we would cripple him, because he would do a phenomenal job, but he doesn't have the money to operate it.
And speaking of finances, the newly appointed chairman of the trust, Jim Holman, told me in a statement, the problem the jail has had are directly attributable to a lack of funding. He says without funding, jail management will struggle.
At this time, I think that would be a premature move to abolish the entity that's starting to make these progress achievements.
We also reached out to County Commissioner Miles Davidson, who also sits on the Jail Trust. His approval would be needed by both boards. He told me he can't comment on how he'd vote, but he believes the only reason we know about the bad things happening inside the jail is due to the trust's transparency in operations.
That's our Meghan Mosley reporting. She joins us here in studio. Thanks so much. I appreciate you taking a little extra time here.
Of course.
Let's talk the money just a little bit. How much money does it take to run this jail right now?
So currently they have a budget of $33.7 million a year to run the jail.
So if the trust were to go away and it would go back to the Sheriff's Department, does that $33 million get added to the Sheriff's Department's budget? I mean, that money, the Sheriff's Department wouldn't have to operate the jail and their department with the money that they have right now, right?
Correct. And there's 2 different boards that actually approves the budget for them. So there's a BET, budget, there's a BET, what they call the county budget evaluation team, and they review the county's budget for the jail, and then that gets approved, and then it gets sent to the county budget board, and they also approved that $33.7 million.
In order for the trust to go away, which again, we've been talking about for a while, and it's now fifth, sixth year, everybody on the Jail Trust would have to say, all right, we're not needed anymore?
That's right. Everybody
unanimous?
on the jail, yes, a unanimous vote from the Jail Trust themselves, and then it also would take a majority vote from the county commissioners.
So 2 out of the 3 county commissioners.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize there's only 3 county commissioners,
Right.
and so 1 vote holds a lot of weight,
Yes.
and right now it sounds like we know that 1, Jason Lowe's for, Brian Mon is against it.
Yes.
So really it would come down to Miles Davidson.
Right, correct. And he's also actually on the Jail Trust himself.
So there's so many different angles and things going on here. And then, of course, that's for the current jail. You've been covering as well. I joke, if we had beats, you'd be on the Oklahoma County jail beat, because there's the new jail that they're trying to put together as well. And the question of funding for that jail is still very much up in the air.
That's right. So in 2022, the county passed a bond of $260 million for the new county jail, but like they've said, they didn't expect that price to be that price for the jail.
Right.
So now estimates are about at $835 million.
Way over what voters approved.
Way over what they approved, right.
And so we are talking, and I know Jason Lowe was talking about
Yes.
perhaps, listen, I think I have a plan. He hasn't announced exactly, but it would be an additional tax
Yes.
on Oklahoma County residents.
Yes, this would be a 5/8 of a cent county sales tax for voters to approve if it is passed through their county commission board on their meeting on January 21st.
All right. So much going on. Thank you so much. I'm glad that
course.
you're the one covering it. I don't know if you volunteered to follow
it's a lot. It's a roller coaster in county.
It is a full-time job on its own.
It is.
And Meghan Mosley, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for being on Oklahoma Chronicle.